Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you all back to the 102nd character in this long running series of me talking about various newcomer ideas for the upcoming Smash Bros. Game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Nintendo characters, third-party characters, retro characters, newer game characters. All are included, all are eligible for my series, and I've already done 101, on the road to 150, which is my limit, and I'm going to hopefully get done by the end of November. But as I mentioned in the last video, when I talked about Flynn from Shin Megami Tensei 4, I mentioned that this game's video, this character's video, even though you've seen the thumbnail when it changed, it's the name of the video, you know who the character is, but I have to introduce him/her anyways, is Cross from Xenoblade Chronicles X. And let's get this started before the intro gets too out of hand and is too long. Let's just get this video started and talk about why I feel Cross should be the Xenoblade Chronicles X rep, should be the next Xenoblade rep, should be possible as a Xenoblade rep. Reasons why. Moveset ideas, and percentage chance I can see him actually getting in. Now, why Cross? Why pick Cross over, say, Elma? Elma seems to be like the top-notch main character, the main choice to pick if Xenoblade Chronicles X is to be represented in Smash Brothers. And I would never deny that. But Cross stands a chance too, given that it is the main character, the person you specifically play as. Elma is technically the main character of the game, per se, really. But your character, your avatar character, the character you create, Cross, is pretty much one of her main companions and is one of the main party members, and you're pretty much a main character too. It's like Chrom and Robin. Chrom is to Elma what Robin is to Cross. So let's get this started and see why Cross deserves to be represented. First and foremost, Xenoblade X. Why should Xenoblade X be the next Xenoblade game to be represented over Xenoblade 2? First and foremost, Xenoblade X was received fairly well. I don't think it sold too well, but I think it was received fairly well, and they did put a lot of effort putting DLC into it and doing stuff on it, and it was one of the biggest games, one of the more popular games on the Nintendo Wii U. So I'd say at least that regard, it's the next entry after Xenoblade Chronicles, the original, before Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out, years later with Rex and Pyra and everything. But Xenoblade X is still one of the more, it is still well received, and while it didn't sell well, I still think it received popularity. And Xenoblade Chronicles X is rumored to be on a Nintendo Switch. They represented the game with putting Elma as one of the blades in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC. And it is likely one day, if Xenoblade Chronicles got a sequel, Xenoblade Chronicles X will likely get a sequel. And I do recall the game having a ending, like a cliffhanger ending, that the story isn't fully told. So the creators probably intended for it to get a sequel at some point. So they're separating it. It's going to be the Xenoblade Chronicles series and the Xenoblade Chronicles X series. So they're going to continue both. And if you represent one, you represent the other as well, I think. And it's like, I think they intend that there's going to be a sequel. They're probably going to port the original game to the Nintendo Switch. There's rumors about that. Elma was included as a blade in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC, so they still seem to care about Xenoblade Chronicles X, and it is a popular game on the Wii U, and it was fairly well received, even though it didn't really sell well. Now, why Cross instead of, say, Elma? Because, first off, Cross is your character. He is your major character. He is your avatar. She is your avatar, the main character of the game. So it's going to be an avatar character, kind of like Robin and Corrin from Fire Emblem, the Inklings from Splatoon, or the Villager from Animal Crossing. Like 8 different costumes. 4 costumes male, 4 costumes female, various different looks. I'd say hopefully, at least for Cross, unlike Robin and Corrin, change up the looks a little bit more. I really wish with Robin and Corrin they would have gave different hairstyles and facial structures to those characters. So generic male, generic female, then pick long-haired female, long-haired male, this female, blah, blah, blah. But make sure, obviously, the body structure kind of has to be the same, on point, really. But, yeah, it is your main character. It's basically one of 2 main characters. Elma is one, and your character is the other. But it's the character you specifically control. It's the character the player controls, a customizable avatar. And it's like, it allows you also to have the chance to make a moveset that's a little bit more diverse, because everyone else has a specific moveset. Elma has her gun blades and sword type things where she can shoot her guns off but then attack with double blade type things. But the other characters in the game have that. But Cross, you're able to pick, oh, do I want to use the lances? Do I want to use the big guns? Do I want to use the swords, the sabers, blah, 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 blah. You have different choices to pick from. So it's like it allows for moveset creation to be a little bit more original and different than, say, Elma. So that's basically why. Xenoblade X is basically was probably the main game at the time Smash Brothers, Ultimate was starting development before 2 really got into, creation. It's likely going to get a port on the Switch because everything else on the Wii U's gotten a port at this point. It's likely going to get a sequel, and it was fairly well received. And Cross is the legit customizable, your main character, and the amount of choices you have for a moveset can at least make him/her more eligible to make a more interesting moveset than Elma. Moveset ideas. Now, I believe I've said this before, and it's really weird given my, fandom and love for the Xenoblade games. I love the first one, and I played some of the second one. I never got around to playing X, and I said the same thing, I think, in the Elma video. So I had to do a little bit of research. I'm hoping for a Switch version. That's really what I want to play, because I played it on the Wii U because I played other games like, Bayonetta and Mario Kart and Shin Megami Tensei, Tokyo Mirage Session and Smash. But I just never got around to it. So I had to do a little bit of research for the character. And there's different weapons you can use. So I kind of pick different weapons that you can use in the game without, trying to make the same moveset as Elma. I wanted to do a different moveset than Elma. So not the double swords, double gun things. That's Elma's thing, and that's going to be her moveset. Cross's moveset is going to be entirely different. And some people will hate me for this, but I wanted to pick the sword weapon. But not a normal sword weapon. It's going to be the Photon Saber, which is like basically a beam katana, like Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. It's like a lightsaber. So it's basically a beam sword, which we don't have any users that use that in Smash Brothers. So the main weapon I would give him/her is a beam saber, like a Photon Saber, which is basically like a laser sword, a lightsaber. Now I don't know the different models because you can buy different ones and upgrade different ones. I picked 2 options here. The Sakuraba Industries version or the Model 6 Stars Light Blade, which I think that's like the more strongest one. And I think the Sakuraba is like the basic one. Pick whichever one you want. Do you want like end game, big, major Photon Saber sword, or beginning one? Pick one and choose. I never actually played the game, so I have no idea what the difference is. Sorry. But yeah, the Photon Saber will be the smash attacks, and basically Cross doing multiple different arts in the game. If you played the Xenoblade series, you do arts. It's like a turn-based, like MMO style single player game. And basically there's the Starfall Blade, the Geolibrium, Starfall Rondo, Astro Librium, Astro Heal, Starfall Blossom, Astro Purge, Nova Librium, Galactic Cataclysm, and Astro Horizon. Obviously that's a bunch of different arts, like how Shulk does like Backslash and all the Monado arts. Basically it's going to be the same thing as that. But obviously you can't mix all that into one single moveset. So I'd say pick about 5. I'd say Starfall Blade, Starfall Rondo, Starfall Blossom, Astro Purge, and Astro Horizon. Yeah, that's about 5. I'd say about that. But pick whatever you want. Just pick like a good 5, 4 to 6 arts and make that central to the Photon Saber and Smash attacks. The special attacks are where we kind of get into a little bit more different, abilities, and this is gonna be that's like the basic arts for the weapon. So pretty much all those arts can pretty much be used by anyone. I'm gonna put Cross's signature arts that specifically he/she can use in the special attacks, and you can use a flame grenade. So basically, your ranged attack is throwing a grenade that's basically on fire and explodes and catches people on fire. That is the flame grenade. That's basically one of the things Cross can use in the game. Basically, you can use Slit Edge, which is basically another form of an art to attack. Infuriate, Recuperate, which is basically special abilities. So you probably can use those as status effects on your opponent. So maybe Infuriate will make them, attack more randomly, or maybe make them uncontrollable to the opponent player. If you're playing it, like they just can't control their character or something. And then I would also say maybe bring in some of the other weapon choices in here as well. So basically, I was thinking like the Psycho Launcher, the Assault Rifle, the Gatling Gun. So at least 2 of those with the Flame Grenade and Slit Edge special attack with the Photon Saber would make a good list of special attacks. So the Flame Grenade, I would pick the Gatling Gun and the Psycho Launcher and Slit Edge with your Photon Saber, and then maybe the ability to recuperate your opponents. So maybe you can make them, their attacks random, or they're uncontrollable to the opponent. So if you are successful with it, you basically, for about 10 seconds, maybe your opponent, you can make sure they can't control their character. Something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like maybe slow them down, freeze them, stick them still so you can beat them up and combo on them. I'd say that's probably kind of cool. And as for the final smash, this is where it's gonna have to be the same as Alma, given that this is a special feature of the game, the big major selling point, major thing you do in Xenoblade Chronicles X, and that's the scale. So it's going to be like, you get into the scale, make a cutscene or something, and then the scale's like, goes behind the stage. So here's the stage, and the scale just flies down behind it, like, whee, or the stage is like, and the scale is like, boom, and then they just get blown off the stage. You attack them with like a saber, swords, bombs, guns, and blow them off the stage. So there you go. So the smash attacks are the Photon Saber with the different arts for it. The special attacks are basically Cross's signature attack, like Flame Grenade and infuriating opponents and doing the Slit Edge, while also some other weapon choices as small things to this Photon Saber, but not taking over the Photon Saber, like the Psycho Launcher, the Gatling Gun, and then the Skull being the final smash. Percentage chance I could see them getting in. It's decent, given that I think Xenoblade X still stands a chance to get a character on the base roster. I still really do think that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has basically overtaken Xenoblade Chronicles X at this point. We may not get a Xenoblade Chronicles character on the base roster, but we probably will as DLC. And if that does happen, it's guaranteed it's probably Rex and Pyra at this point. So really, the Xenoblade Chronicles X character is not that likely. But if there is a Xenoblade Chronicles X character to get in, it's likely to be Elma. And I gave Elma basically about an 85% chance, because I still think she's like the Xenoblade Chronicles X choice. And she's pretty much the choice underneath Rex and Pyra at this point. Rex and Pyra, still more likely I gave Rex and Pyra 100% chance, which I do think they're going to be guaranteed as one of the first characters as DLC. They're just too popular. The game's just too big for, Sakurai to not give us a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character, and they're likely the choices for that. But Xenoblade Chronicles X, I'd say it's Elma. Elma's still the biggest choice, but I'm going to give Cross, I'm going to give him/her a 50% chance. They're there. It's likely that he possibly could pick them over Elma, or do like an Echo situation, like a Richter Simon Echo situation, which pretty much would cross out every single freaking moveset I basically mentioned, because the main character would likely be Elma, and Cross would be their Echo. So it would be her Echo, so probably a more basic moveset for, or changing up her moveset, which that's her basic moveset, her gun sword thing is kind of there. But like 50% chance. It's still very possible, still very likely, but not as much as Elma, and certainly not as much as the likes of a Rex Pyra situation. So there's that. 50% chance, Cross for Xenoblade Chronicles X. Woo! Put in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys want to see a Xenoblade Chronicles X specific character in? And if you did, would you want it to be Elma, or would you want it to be Cross? And put in the comments below, would my moveset sound interesting? Would you change it up? People have actually played the game. Would you pick different weapons setups? The scale makes sense for a final smash, I believe. It's 50% too high, too low. Discuss it down there. We can have fun. And that's it for Cross, character number 102. And when I come back next time, we're going to be talking about a character that's super popular, has been in the rumors for quite some time, and people have been wanting Smash Bros. Since the days of Melee. Quite frankly, I have to an extent too, at least in Melee and Brawl, and maybe to an extent Smash 4. And people have been requesting a lot, and they've been in the rumors a whole lot lately too, the leaks too, and that's going to be Majora Mask's Skull Kid. So till then, my name is ThinkSpun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you all later in the next video.